Hi everyone, Gary Hydrick here. Here's hoping you had yourself a nice weekend. Big cold front moved through and that water temperature is dropping down more and more and the fishing starting to pick up a little bit better each week. Fall's here. Here we are just about the middle of October. Wow. You know, last week we talked about, the guys going over the dam in a boat that was just barely saved. I like to look for quirky things to start out the show with. You know, you had bad fishing days. How about this guy? Now this guy had bad fishing days. How about this hook in his nose? This hook went right through his nose. Ouch! Ooh! Okay, let's go to the reports. Let's go out to Table Rock Lake. We're still getting some pretty good bass reports. The deeper bite seems to be a little off right now. They're starting to go a little bit shallower. And a couple of baits are working real good for me. In the early morning hours, especially if there's not much wind, go to the pop-R type baits. They've been quite effective. And then if there's a little breeze, go to the whopper plopper. I like that smaller whopper plopper. These two baits in the morning hours will work. Then again, maybe in the late evening hours. But the top over bait, if I needed to get out to Table Rock this week and pick up some fish, would be the spinner bait. The tandem spinner bait, if you have a little bit of wind, that's a little bit better. But I tell you what, anywhere from the James River all throughout the lake, spinner baits are hard to beat. Don't burn it, just kind of slow roll that spinner bait. You'll catch some fish. Then in the middays, you want to go to the jig. Jigging your favorite trailer. Just work it slow, anywhere from 8 to 15 feet of water, and the football style jigs have been working quite well. So Table Rock on bass, pretty good. Not outstanding, but good enough to get out there and try to get bit. Not too much to report on walleye at Table Rock over the weekend, but crappie still around that Cape Fear area. We're getting some pretty good reports. The crappie are moving up. The last report I had, they've been catching them 25 to 30 feet of water over the brush piles. Jig and minnow combination, but now you may want to try maybe that 15-foot range. Just go brush pile hopping. You could end up with some nice fish, that's for sure. And we have had some reports of pretty good bluegill fishing. Crickets are still the best bet for this. Okay, let's go over to Lake Taneycomo. The trout fishing slowed down a little bit. That's not saying you can't catch fish, but they're not running much water. The Corps is releasing maybe in the afternoon just for an hour or so, one generator. But here's a good fish that, courtesy this picture is from Tandem Fly Guide Service. That's a real nice fish that was caught last week. And they're using real, like 2-pound leaders and scuds with a float up above it. And down around Scotty's, there's another nice picture, courtesy of Scotty's Trout Dock, recently of a nice rainbow caught. And so you can catch fish down there, but the water clarity's clear, the fish are a little spooky. And so to go to light line, pink, power bait wise, pink and white has been working good. Also, of course, orange continues to be quite well. Spoon fishing I haven't heard too much of here recently. Here's a tip at the lower end of the lake where the moss beds are. Here again, I tell you what, I love to get down there this time of the year in the fall months and use plastic worms and not much weight on it. Just pitch plastic worms on the edge of these moss beds and just let it kind of fall down on the edge of it and you catch yourself some nice bass. Also, top water fishing at the lower end of Taneycomo can produce nice bass this time of the year. Let's run over to Bull Shoals. Not a lot of activity out there over the weekend. A few walleye are still being caught on deep water crankbaits. Something that will get down around 20 feet of water. They're fishing the deep water flats, and also we've had some reports of a few jigging night crawlers are night crawlers for walleye. Not great, but a few were caught over the weekend. Crappie, they're starting to move up a little bit at Bull Shoals. No big run, but if you get over your brush piles and just kind of vertically fish, the jig and minnow combination, I think the jig and minnow combination is a little bit better. Just go from one brush pile to the other, stay in that 15 to 18 foot water, you could catch yourself a mess of crappie. You're getting pretty good reports at the lower end down around the Oakland area. Bottom bouncers with night crawlers are still picking up a few walleye down there. Bass fishing, just like a Table Rock, the spinner bait is hard to beat right now. The bass are really moving with the shad, and the shad are moving shallow. So don't be afraid to pitch these spinner baits up in about 5 to 7 feet of water. Just like table rock, don't burn it. Slow roll it, slow to medium retrieve. See any shad activity, you can pick yourself up a bass or two by using the spinner bait. During the day, they're also picking up some fish on jigs. So one other report over at Norfork Lake. Striper fishing's been a little slow this last few days, I understand, but they have been picking up crappie there. Spoon, either the 1/8 ounce or the 1/4 ounce, and they're fishing the brush piles there in 15 to 18 feet of water, and the fish they're catching are awful nice. So nice crappie are starting to show up out at Norfork Lake. Of course, they're near Mountain Home. Well, we hope you had yourself a nice weekend. The weather's just beautiful. The fishing's going to get stronger. And we want to thank our viewers. We went over 1,000 viewers since we've been on in a short time, and right here on Fishing Chums. So we want to thank all of our viewers and tell your friends, join us each week at this time. Subscribe. We'd love to have you join our team. Happy outdoors, everyone. See you out on the water.